Hey friends, Ash here. Welcome back to Extra Gents Scents. Hope you guys are having an awesome day. Today what I've done is I've pulled 7 fragrances off my shelves that I haven't smelled in a while. Some of these longer than others, and I want to go ahead and revisit these and kind of just see how I feel about them now. Some of these fragrances at one time I really loved, and I wore them a bunch, and then just, because of how things go, time goes on, you get more stuff in, you just stop wearing it. So I wanted to see, is the love still there? Maybe rekindle it a little bit, maybe. And then some of the other ones I got in, and I just, they didn't really do it for me. And they ended up basically sitting there collecting dust, as I'm sure a lot of you have fragrances that you bought at one point in time, thinking, oh, this is gonna work out great for me, and then it just doesn't. So we got both of those things going on here today, and we're just gonna work through this. We got some niche fragrances, we got some designer fragrances, some more well-known, some less known. Let's jump into it. Let's check these out. And before we bust out our handy dandy tester strips and start spraying these on, the codes. If you shop at luckyscent.com, use the code 10GENTS. That will save you 10% off your order, my friends. Don't pay full retail when you can pay 10% less than full retail. It's simple math. And then twistedlily.com and maxaroma.com. The code for those is GENTS10. So a little bit different, but the code does the same thing, 10% off your order. So if you're looking to buy some niche fragrances, some indie fragrances, some nice high-end stuff for your collection, save yourself 10% if you shop at those sites. All right, so I will start it off with this one. It is Hugo Reflective Edition. Now, I have to tell you guys, I bought this at full retail, fully knowing at the time that I was buying it that it was probably not a great idea to be buying it at full retail, because while there are a lot of people out there that are big fans of these Hugo Boss Canteen bottle fragrances, for me, they've always been fragrances that are basically worth, $25. That's basically how the quality of them comes across to me, and paying $80+ for it seems kind of stupid. And yet here we are. So yeah, I got it in, sprayed it on, and I remember just thinking, oh, that's boring. And I just sat it back on my shelf and actually didn't even bother to bring it downstairs. Like, I just had this sitting next to my computer. There's like a shelf kind of next to my computer desk, and I just sat it there and left it. So it's been there this whole time, and I decided let's go ahead and bring it downstairs today. Let's put it with the other Hugos, and let's also give it a whiff. So here we go. Now, to be fair, you can find this at Joma Shop now, and I think it's like $45 for a larger size bottle. This is a 75 ml. The one on Joma Shop is $125. So it is a little less expensive now, and you do get a great reflective bottle, which makes sense because it's the reflective edition. But a drawback of that is huge fingerprint magnet. All right, let's smell her. Yeah, I mean, it smells like you would expect a Hugo Canteen fragrance to smell, right? Is it generic? Yes. Is it really fresh? Yes. Does it smell pretty cheap? Also yes. But at the same time, is it really pleasant in a kind of sporty, semi-soapy kind of way? Also yes. Yeah, just a lot of yeses there. I mean, it's fine. It's not bad. Like, you pick this up for a younger person or somebody middle-aged, somebody who wants a gym fragrance or a nice little sporty casual fragrance, something definitely office safe, and you get it for a good price, then I think this would work really well. For me, it's just, I bought it at full retail like a dunce. And so when that happens and you smell it and you go, oh yeah, for the 10th time, surprise, the quality is what you thought it would be. That's on me, right? Like, that's completely on me. It's a little aromatic, citrusy, fresh, clean, a little soapy, like I said. Either just casual, warm weather scent or gym scent. It would do really well. But I wouldn't pay too much for it. Let's move it a little higher end. Let's check this one out next. Accord Oud from Byredo. Byredo does not seem to be quite as hyped as it used to be. Is that just me thinking that, or is that truth? It seemed like for a while there, Byredo was just everywhere. And I definitely still see their marketing. They're branching out into other things, makeup and stuff like that. But their fragrances don't seem to get like as much of a groundswell as they used to. Again, that could just be my interpretation here. But let's spray on Accord Oud. I can tell you, I like smelling this more than the Hugo. No offense, Hugo. Super pleasant, very easy to wear oud. Fruity, sweet, tart, a little bit boozy. The oud has all of its rough edges kind of covered up by that sweetness that just kind of folds over top of it. A little bit of a leather to it, but the leather here also is not animalic. It does have a little tinge of darkness to it though, so it's not just all fruity, sweet, happy-go-lucky. Like there's good depth to it, nice nuance. Very wearable oud, very approachable, very nice. Might actually work that back into the old rotation. Sorry, Accord Oud, shouldn't have forgot about you. Let's switch it up a little bit different. Let's go with the old Hermes here. Un jardin sur la lagune. Sorry about the pronunciation there. I'm sure I butchered it, but we will spray on. So I remember when this came out, it caught a decent amount of flack. People saying that it was not up to par with the fragrances that had come before it in that line. Certainly on first blush, first sniff, I would agree with that it's not quite got that wow factor that other fragrances like Sur Lanil, for example, probably the most well-known from the line, that those have, where when you smell them, you're just like, oh man, like it enraptures you almost. This doesn't quite have that going. Yeah, unfortunately, it starts to be just kind of this like lackadaisical sort of sea salty, marine, floral that's just, instead of it coming across like this romanticization of a garden, where you can really pick out the different things around you in this garden that really brings the fragrance to life, which other scents in this line do, it ends up smelling much more synthetic and much more linear, like doesn't really have that depth. It's lacking something. I would say as a salty white floral fragrance with aquatic tendencies around the edge, marine tendencies, I should say, actually. It's not too bad, but then you think about the house it's coming from and the price point that it commands, and then it starts to look worse. Next up, let's do 1821 man-made sweet tobacco spirits. It's a name. For a time, this was everywhere. This fragrance was everywhere. Like everybody had this, everybody was talking about this. It was a little hype monster for a little period of time. Let's give it a spray. Let's see how it is now. And actually, I did just see, one of you guys emailed me that 1821 came out with a new fragrance. Yeah, it's been years, but they came out with something new. So I'm gonna go ahead and buy it after this video's over. When I get it in, I'll do a video for you and let you know if it's worth anything. I've told this story before. I mean, it's not too much of a story, but I'll tell it again anyway. 1821 Man-Made, they actually reached out to me in 2017, and they told me that they had 3 fragrances that were coming out in very short order that were going to be following up on the success of this one in 2017. And just now we are getting the first new release by them. So yeah, that obviously did not happen. Let's go in on 1821 here, man-made sweet tobacco spirits. That's still really good. I like that. It's very boozy, very sweet, very dried fruit forward. The booziness here coming from, I believe it was a wine note. Yeah, wine for the spirit in here. You would think looking at it, it'd be like whiskey, right? But no, wine. And then there's also fruits, vanilla, woods, tonka. It's a very sweet fragrance, very warm. But man, that still smells great, yeah. Next up, let's do Jeroboam Origino. If I butcher that one, again, I'm sorry. This one I got quite a while back. I got it from Fragrance Net, and they had it mislabeled as a Nasamato. I went ahead and picked it up, and here it is. It's a 30 ml bottle size extrait de parfum, so I guess that's why they thought it was a Nasamato. They were like, 30 milliliters and it's an extrait de parfum. Well, it's gotta be a Nasamato, right? No, not right, but whatever. Let's spray it on. And this one, probably more so than any of the others, I have smelled the least. Hey, I like it. It's funny. It's like I'm smelling it for the first time again here. Woody green, juniper in the top there. It's very clean, but in a, as I said, kind of woody green aromatic way. Very smooth, masculine, gentlemanly. Be an easy to wear fragrance. Great office fragrance. Daytime leaning, spring, fall time, I'd say. Winter also, you could pull that off. That's nice. Younger guys not going to go for that, but I think middle-aged and older can pull that off, and it smells really nice, very classy. Well, we're talking green, so let's do this next. Grassland, Banana Republic. So this one showed up in my mailbox along with Metal Rain at the same time, and that's when like everybody and their mama was getting these. And so I automatically was kind of like, nah, I don't know. I'm not a big fan of getting stuff when, you know, everybody's getting the same stuff. I don't like that. So I just kind of sat it to the side, didn't really think about it. I've seen the price on it. It seems to be pretty consistently at discounters around $65, $70, which seems, you know, a little bit pricey. But let's see how it is here. Very green and soapy, like Irish Spring soap or something. Just absolutely launched that. I didn't even mean to do that. Yeah, very, very, very off a tester strip soapy, like mega. I know it's been compared to Green Irish Tweed. I think even on So Avant-Garde's website, which were the people sending this out, I think that it even said on there at one point in time that it was like compared to Creed Green Irish Tweed or something like that. It's not really Green Irish Tweed though. It's fresh, but it's a little bit sweeter than Green Irish Tweed. It's like not got as much liveliness. It doesn't have that zing, that kind of lemon verbena lift that Green Irish Tweed has. Obviously missing a little bit of depth as well. It's like a very sweet, very soapy take on a green fragrance. Pretty nice, be good for spring. It's not bad though. For $70, I mean, that's got me feeling iffy about it. I'd say if that were 35, 40, maybe, something like that. Oud Minerale, the final fragrance actually, Tom Ford. I believe this is discontinued now, but you can still find it. That is the type of fragrance that probably 3 out of 5 people hate. And I'm one of the 2 out of 5 in my imaginary numbers pulled out of the air that really likes it. It's a very different take on an oud fragrance. So it's like taking an oud that has a little funk to it, not overly so, but a little bit, and then you just spray it off with seawater. So like you have that oud there and it's got a little funky waft to it, and you just douse it in very salty seawater that even has like bits of kelp seaweed cut up into it. So you end up with this fragrance that's very minerally, a little aquatic, but in a salty way, with this green edge to it that's not an aromatic green, and then an oud wood that's coming out with a hint of funk, trying to like battle up through all those other notes that have kind of fallen in over top of it. So very different take on oud. Very interesting to smell. Probably out of everything here, the hardest one to pull off as far as like actually wearing it out and about and feeling very confident about it and pulling it off with your outfit and everything perfectly. That's actually, I would say, definitely the hardest one of these all. Accord Oud, also an oud fragrance, but way, way easier to wear. So this one I've got to give major props for being, whichever way you want to view it, a very unique aquatic fragrance or a very unique oud fragrance, or just both of those. So that one will wrap this up. Some of these actually a bit better than I remembered, and then one of them a bit worse than I remembered, the Hermes. That will do it for me though, guys. I've been talking a long time, been rambling. So I'm gonna head out of here. Thank you for hanging with me today as I just work through some of these random fragrances. Stay safe out there. I'll see you again another day with another video. See you guys later. Instead of it coming across like this romanticization, Jesus.